I see Nicole. I don't see Brett. No, I'm good. Thank you, though, for asking, Vicki. I appreciate that. If everyone could grab a seat, that would be greatly appreciated. You ready, Cantor? I always want to do one of those services where we stand here for 20 minutes and then we just go directly into a closing song and leave and see if anyone notices we didn't do anything. I think we should try that one night. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We are here tonight. We are here tonight to honor our veterans, to celebrate Shabbat, and to also begin the celebrations for two B'nai Mitzvah, Jonah and Georgia, both of whom will be, becoming adults within Jewish tradition at their separate B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies tomorrow. Yesterday was Veterans Day, and every year we like to honor our veterans at the nearest Friday night service. And I'd like to begin just by asking all of our veterans, if you're in the audience, to please rise so that we can give you at least a round of applause to begin with. You guys can have a seat. We'll be calling you forward a couple times tonight, but I always like to start off with just a round of applause so people know where you are and who you are, at least visually. So tonight we honor brave men and women who have done so much over the past generations. We are reminded that there is no obstacle too great to overcome as long as people do what they have to do. Not always what they want to do, but what they have to do. But bravery is just one side of the coin. You see, I've got to believe that no one actually wants to fight. Each veteran, I am sure, wishes that our world would follow the words of Isaiah. Think about what words I'm going to quote right now. I'm sure you already know them. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. This biblical verse talks about peace. That is what we truly want in this world, peace. And when it arrives, the first to celebrate, I am sure, will be our veterans, because they will know that the future generations will not have to take the journey that they took. One of the ways we have our veterans honored tonight is by having our students participate. So tonight you will see some of our children come forward from our religious school to sing a song or two in their honor. Right now we're going to turn to page 644 in the big blue book called Mishkan Tefillah. You don't need to really open it if you already know the words Tihine Ma Tov, which I'm sure many of you do. Cantor Noah?
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה ומנעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים גם יחד.
Wide shot, because I'm going to have everyone turn around and say Shabbat Shalom to the cameras. So here we go. If everyone could stand up for a moment, turn to the cameras and yell Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all very much. We want to just note that we probably have as many people or more people watching us on the internet that are actually present tonight. So the Great War, that was World War I's name before we had World War II. And that Great War, the Great War, ended on the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, when an armistice agreement was signed. And so a year later, in November 1919, President Wilson declared November 11th, 11/11, as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. And he said the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice and the councils of the nations." And then in 1938, Armistice Day became Veterans Day. And Veterans Day became a day where we honored both those who fell defending our country and both those who thankfully survived. We continue with L'cha Dodi. And L'cha Dodi speaks about a Sabbath bride coming to us wherever we are, wherever, our veterans might have been stationed. The Sabbath bride finds you if you're a Jew. It doesn't matter where you are located. So we turn to page 138 for verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. L'cha Dodi. We'll be rising on the last verse.
לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת וליתי. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, טובות אדוני עלייך נגלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה.
Let us rise and face the back door. And if you're already at the back door, you can just turn around.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבל לה.
You may be seated unless you're a 4th through 6th grader who will be singing with us tonight, and then we ask you to come forward and stand on our yellow line, our 4th through 6th graders. I have the right age range, don't I? Come on forward. Hallie, you joining them too? Awesome. This is Hallie. She's not a 4th through 6th grader, but she is a teacher and one of our 2 educators. If you guys could go stand on the yellow line at the front of the bima. And I'm going to grab a microphone so they can. Guys, spread yourselves out.
We're ready?
No introduction. I'm leaving this to you, Cantor. I don't even know the song.
Fantastic. אחת, שתיים, שלוש. Veterans are people who give service to our country in times of war and peace. They have given much for our great. They defend our liberty. We honor you, our heroes. We give thanks for all you do, for your service to America. We honor you today. We celebrate our freedom and we celebrate our in our USA. We are proud to live in this great land, a land of liberty. We honor you, our heroes. We give thanks for all you do, for your service to America. We honor you today. We honor you, our heroes. We give thanks for all you do, for your service to America. We honor you today.
Asher Koach. You guys can file off the bima. Thank you, Cantor. Those wonderful. And thank you to all the kids. So now we're going to call up actually 3 groups to light our candles, if you're wondering why we have so many candles sitting here. We're going to ask Jonah and his family to come over to this side to light a candle. We're going to ask George and her family, and then we're going to ask our veterans to come forward. And if you're here with a spouse or a partner, you can also come to the center. We're going to have our veterans at the center table here, and you're all going to be lighting candles. So if you are coming forth, we normally allow you, if it's only one family, to take off your mask. We're going to ask you to leave your masks on for tonight's candle lighting. And please be careful coming up our ramp. It's trickier than it looks. And I'm hoping someone's going to take a picture of this amazing crowd. Take your time coming up. Got it, Ralph? Come all the way up. Ralph, come this way. Yeah. I don't want you tripping. Just go all the way inside. I'm going to put you all the way up here. So it's amazing to have this many people around a table. People celebrating, well, the youth of having a B'nai Mitzvah. People who are just 13. And then, of course, we have our veterans, many of whom have lived very full, rich lives, experiences that I've heard much about because we did produce a short video on them last year. So all of this life, all of this experience, this gathering, we're going to have them light the Shabbat candles. And we're going to sing the blessing that truly invites in Shabbat. If you could light the candles, please.
La 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 la
Let us reach our hands towards these candles and bring our hands in once for Shabbat peace, once for the honoring this Shabbat of our veterans, and once for the celebration of these 2 young children becoming B'nai Mitzvah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav וציוונו להדליק נר וציוונו להדליק נר וציוונו להדליק נר של השבת.
Thank you all. You can return to your seats. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being part of the community. And let's take the ramp, no matter our age. So Jewish defense of this land we now call the United States began in 1654. 1654, but that's before we became a nation. Asher Levy was one of the leaders of the 23 Jews who came to New Amsterdam from Recife, Brazil, on the St. Catherine. That was a boat. We were in Recife. We had this beautiful Jewish Renaissance going on. And then, well, we were found. We had to move. And so this boat with 23 people, this ship with 23 Jews on it, came to New Amsterdam. And we had Peter Stuyvesant there, who was leading a group of settlers. He was there with the Dutch West India Trading Company. And the thing we always forget about Peter Stuyvesant was that he did not like Jews, not a friend of the Jews in any way. And he wanted to get rid of the Jews that had shown up. He didn't want them on this new piece of property. He wouldn't even let them stand guard. And because he wouldn't let them stand guard, he would then charge them for not standing guard. And Asher Levy did not like this, so he wrote to the head of the Dutch West India Trading Company. and said, hey, this is what's going on. Now, the Dutch West India Trading Company, well, we want to think that they were altruistic, because they wrote back and said, yes, Peter Stuyvesant, you have to let Jews enjoy the same liberties as they have in Amsterdam. But in reality, Jews were some of the major stockholders of this company. And so those who were running the company were fearful that they would have an uprising of their stockholders. So really, they were placating their stockholders, but by placating the stockholders, Jews were allowed to finally stand guard in New Amsterdam. And the first person to do that was Asher Levy. He demanded his rights. He wrote a letter, and yet forces that were going on inside of Europe, monetary forces, allowed him to finally stand guard. That was the first time a Jew ever protected this nation, this land. So we're going to move forward now with the Baruch, and I think we have Georgia coming up to lead us in the Baruch. We're all going to rise once Georgia gets up here. You can start standing now if you're a slow riser. And we're going to turn to page 146. Please remain standing. How about a big Yasher Koach? And now I'm going to ask everyone to take a moment of quiet. Let's place our feet on the ground flatly. Feel our feet connecting to the floor beneath us. Let's feel our connection to the floor, to the earth, our connection to one another. Because in a moment we're going to chant the Shema. And the Shema talks about oneness and unity. And in a world where the only thing that seems to be uniting us is a pandemic, we need something better and greater to connect us, something more positive. And the Shema should remind us of the good that connects each and every one of us. So let's take a deep breath in, and let's hold it, and let's let it out. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it out. Feel your connection to humanity, to the idea of oneness, to the idea of singularity. Deep breath in. Hold it. And let it out. The Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. Jonah, come on forward. You're going to lead us in the V'ahavta. We find the V'ahavta on page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi metzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam beshivtecha b'vitecha uvleftecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvekumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot beineinecha Uktavtam al mizuzot beiteha uvishareha leman tiskeru basitem et kol mitzvotai bitem kedoshim leilohehem ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzeti ethem me'eretz ritmayim liot lahem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohehem.
A big Yasher Koach. Good job. And now I'd like to ask our younger students to come forward, our Tikva Tots through third grade to come forward, hopefully with a teacher or two or our director or Samantha. We'd like to get our little ones arranged up on the bima. This will take 15 minutes just to get them up there. Ari, come on, you can be up here singing. We might need more singers.
Joe, you ready? Chat, shtayim, shalosh. When I lay my head down every night and go to sleep in peace, I can stay there knowing all is well while you're standing on your feet, keeping watch, protecting shore to shore in the air and oceans too, defending freedom at all cost for the red, white, and the blue. Thank you, oh thank you, men and women, brave and strong, to those who serve so gallantly, we sing this grateful song. To the soldiers who have traveled on to countries far and near, in peace and war you paid the price for the cause you held so dear, that we may wage morning bright and know that freedom reigns because of your great sacrifice, your country country joins to sing. Thank you, oh thank you, men and women, brave and strong. To those who serve so gallantly, we sing this grateful song.
How great were our little learners? In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say Adonai. There is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May the earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God. Keep alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Please turn to page 158 for the Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Within the military and also at hospitals, you have a position called chaplain. And many of my classmates, they got the certification to be a chaplain. When you're a chaplain, while you might be a rabbi or you might be a priest, you might be a minister, but when you become a chaplain, you learn about other faiths because you might have to administer to them. You might have to help them using their faith tradition. So if you're in a hospital bed and someone needs a Roman Catholic priest, but you're on call that night as the rabbi, you might have to go and do the rites a Roman Catholic priest might have to do, or at least you guide the people through it. And we have chaplains in the army, so when you see a chaplain, you might be a Jew or a Christian, you might be seeing a chaplain of another religion, and the idea is that chaplain should be able to minister to every religion because of where they are and because of the situation. And we like to think that you could always be a chaplain in the U.S. Army, but it's not true. Until the Civil War, Protestants were the only commissioned chaplains in the U.S. Army. And then finally, during the Civil War, Congress said, hey, as long as the field officers vote you in, you can be a chaplain, as long as you're from a Christian denomination. I think this left the Jews out. And so you have this gentleman, Michael Mitchell Allen. And he became the chaplain of the Cameron Dragoons. And, well, he was born in Philadelphia, and he was the first known Jew to serve as a chaplain. But guess what? Once they passed this law, Congress passed this law, he was kicked out because he didn't belong to a Christian denomination. And so then along came Reverend Arnold Fischel. He was a rabbi, he was a Jew, and he went and he petitioned Congress. He then went to D.C. because he knew that he needed to be there if he's going to petition them. Letters would not work. And he convinced Congress not to change the law. They wouldn't listen to him. Instead, they broadened the definition of what it means to be Christian clergy to include any ordained minister. So under this idea of Christian ministers, they now said, yeah, well, rabbis are included in that. So even if it didn't fit what the rabbi wanted, it at least allowed, from a Christian perspective, for rabbis to be part of this group. So you would think the rabbi that changed this would then become the first chaplain, but he did not. That honor went to Rabbi Jacob Frankel, not Fischel, not Allen, not the two men who fought for this or actually filled this post. He had nothing to do with changing the law, but historically he was the first chaplain. And he took on this role, and he was, well, a trendsetter to say the least, but he also allowed the Jews yet another spot where they could be equals to their brethren of other faiths. So we have to realize rights to Jews weren't always present in the United States. These rights came slowly, and these rights had to be fought for. Just like Asher Levy fighting to stand guard, these rabbis had to fight to be chaplains. So we continue with Vishamru. It's on page 162. Please.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם.
We now take a moment for the Misha Berach prayer. We say the Misha Berach for those who are ill of mind, body, spirit. On our Misha Berach list, Jim Banlin, Richard Barrett, Bella Kane, Gil Cherish, Spiros Chiatis, Miles Dietz, Diane Fantel, Sharon Feist, George Gugassi, Bonnie Halpern, Bill Harris, Jessica Israelite, Sarah Knopf, Michael Levy, Ramon Lucindo, Adrian Martison, Jackie Jean Michaels, Bryn Pime, Herman Presby, Brandon Rapport, Wendy Rosenblum, Beverly Rosov, Marvin Sagerman, Gail Silva, Rose Sillerick, Esther Weissman, Eric Smith, Henny Weisvogel, Devora Chaya Bat Miriam Vesvi Dov, Svi Hillel ben Ratzala V'Yeshayahu. We also remember those, or think about those, who care for the ill, for they too need a prayer. If someone in your life needs a healing prayer, a Misha Barak prayer, please share their name with us. Misha Barak Avatenu Vimotenu. May the God of our ancestors grant a refuah shlema, complete and full healing to all those we name this evening and to all those we hold in our hearts. And together we say, Amen. The singing of Misha Barak can be found on page 371.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Barak imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn to page 164 for the Amidah, the standing prayer. Let us rise and let's always remember to pray as if God did all for us, but then to act as if we must do all for humanity. We are on page 164.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agite ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים והופך חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently through page 180. When you're done with your silent prayer, you may be seated.
For this concluding song, if any of the religious school students would like to come up and help us lead this. Don't be shy. Yes, thank you, Brooklyn. You can go over there. Perfect. We're going to start singing. You know this.
Come on, older kids.
Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu yase shalom. Hu yase shalom. Alleluia.
Everybody.
May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Another Yasher Koach tonight. I'm a fan of Mark Twain, but he once wrote that American Jews didn't serve and fight in the Civil War, and that just wasn't true. So 78 Jewish veterans of the Union Army met to refute his lies by organizing the Hebrew Union Veterans. Once again, we had to fight for what we wanted after having fought. And this group, the Hebrew Union Veterans, was the precursor to the Jewish war veterans of the USA. And these veterans did have a right to be angry. More than 6,000 Jews served in the Union Army, many of whom were killed or wounded. And these 78 Civil War veterans pledged to maintain a true allegiance to the U.S., to combat anti-Semitism, and to combat bigotry wherever it originated and whatever the target, to uphold the fair name of the Jew and fight his battles wherever unjustly assailed, to assist such comrades and their families as might stand in need of help, and to gather and preserve the records of patriotic service performed by the people of the Jewish faith, and to honor the memories and shield from neglect the graves of heroic Jewish vets. And guess what Mark Twain did a year after this group was formed? He apologized. I have so many stories I've collected over the years about, Jewish involvement in the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, pre the time we were in the United States. And I often go through this rotation of stories. But we have to remember ultimately is that, Jews have always fought disproportionately in every war as compared to our percentage of the population. We've always been overrepresented in the military. Now, we have to remember this because we often had to fight for equality within the service. We often had to fight to be chaplains. We often had to fight to stand guard. We had to fight to be recognized. But we were there. We are there defending this country. So right now, I would like to ask our veterans who are in the audience to come forward and to stand on our famous yellow line on the bima. If you're a veteran, please come forward and stand on the yellow line. And as we've done for so many years, and we haven't been able to do it for 2 years now, we're going to pass the microphone and let you introduce yourselves and say what branch of the military you were in. And if you have a word or two to share, you may. Because I could speak all night, as I often do, but I think people would rather hear from all of you. Ralph, be very careful there, please. Start right here. You want me to go to the other side first? Okay, I'll let you do that. We're going to start right here, and you might want to take a step forward as you speak to everyone.
Okay. Milt Shuffman, U.S. Army. Nothing spectacular.
You had some good Coast Guard stories a year ago.
No, I was never in the Coast Guard.
Okay, which one? Your Navy?
No, Army.
See, no, you got Army. Sorry. That's Army. As I'm not
Step on
listening.
the yellow line, please.
I'm going to pass it on. Why don't you take the mic and pass it down?
Ira Karnofsky, 101st Airborne.
Dan Roman, United States Air Force.
John D'Alessio, U.S. Army.
Jim Gleason, U.S. Air Force.
Neil Friedman, U.S. Air Force, and God bless America.
Bruce Newman, U.S. Navy.
Jonathan Rich, United States Army.
Ralph Stein, United States Army. I served in the U.S. Naval Reserve for about 8 years.
Leonard Abramowitz, U.S. Navy, Vietnam veteran.
I believe at this point we have no one who fought in World War II, am I correct? So the Korean War, I know that we had Ralph. And what were some, two in the Korean War. And who else, what other, Vietnam after?
Yeah, Cold War.
Sorry? I missed what you said. Cold War. And so you can all be seated. 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago when we started this, we had a number of World War II veterans. And we don't have it any longer. So I recommend that if you know any of these gentlemen up here tonight, to take time to ask them about what they did, especially during our ONEG, because they did some amazing things. I had the honor last year of putting together a video and I interviewed a number of them, and I have hours upon hours of tape of them talking about what they did. And it was fascinating. And their love of country was fascinating. So I now want to offer a blessing to all of you. A Veterans Day prayer. God of compassion, God of dignity and strength, watch over these veterans of the United States in recognition of their loyal service to our nation. May you all be blessed with wholeness and with love. May you all be sheltered. May your wounds heal. May your hearts be comforted. May you find peace as you move forward. God of justice and truth, rock of our lives, bless our veterans, these individuals of courage and valor, with a deep and abiding understanding of our profound gratitude. Protect them and their families from loneliness and want. Grant them lives of joy and bounty. May their dedication and honor be remembered as a blessing from generation to generation. Blessed are each one of you, our protectors, our shields, our strongholds. And together we say, Amen. And now the cantor and I are going to offer all of you the priestly benediction. Cantor.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless each and every one of you every day of your lives.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May the light of God shine upon you and upon you and upon you. May it always shine so brightly so that your life is filled with light, with hope, with joy.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום וישם לך שלום 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 שלום.
Souls, the light of your actions, the light of moving forward in this world, may it always be present, may it always be felt by your family, your friends, and your community. And together we say,
Amen.
And we have one thing we're going to do before the veterans leave the stage. Please stay where you are right now. We're going to ask our children to come forward and to grab the American flag. If I can get Samantha to work with them on that, and Hallie. And we're going to do, we're going to be doing the Star Spangled Banner. So and you can find it on page 679. If all of our kids, you can just pull it out of there and go in front of the bema. And if our kids could help hold it in front of the bema, and if everyone could please rise for the Star-Spangled Banner. Page 679. And if we could lower the flag just a little bit so we don't cover up our veterans' faces. I think people would like to see them. Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our veterans can return to their seats. Please do not step off the front. Take the ramp. It's a bigger step than you might think. And now we have the most important part of any service, announcements. Shira thinks I'm going to be calling her forward, but I'm going to pause Shira and call up Hallie first. Is Hallie in the room? Hallie has an announcement, then Shira, you're going to go after that. Because I don't want to forget. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. So my name is Hallie. I'm the Experiential Education Coordinator here at Kol Tikva. Thank you. Thanks. Wow, okay. And I wanted to share with you all about a special field trip that we have this Sunday. So we're going to the Museum of Tolerance, and we're going to tour their new Anne exhibit. It's all about the life of Anne Frank, and it's separate from the Holocaust Museum there, so it's its own exhibit, and it's for all ages. So I really encourage you all to attend. It's going to be a great experience, great educational experience for the students, and families are invited to attend. So you can register for that on our website. That's what I wanted to share about.
You can come and talk to you about it.
And you can come and talk to me about it after.
And
Yes.
it's a family event.
And it's a family event.
Yes.
It's from 1 to 3. That's a good question. I didn't think about sharing that. Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you, Hallie.
Thank you, Hallie. Now, Shira Sherb.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi. So I have the rest of the announcements for you, and I want to just begin by thanking Rabbi John and Cantor Noah for this moving and meaningful service. It was amazing. And thank you, religious school kids, for the great singing. And veterans, thank you. It's great to be here to celebrate and honor you. Thank you so much. And we are also celebrating Jonah D'Alessio and Georgia Stengel. We are so proud of you guys. And Mazal Tov to you and your families. Good luck tomorrow. If this was the sneak preview, you guys are going to be amazing tomorrow. A couple events coming up. Monday is the annual golf tournament. Good luck, golfers. And November 21st, mark your calendar, please, if you haven't already. It's Dreidel Fest and Hanukkah Boutique. Do you like to shop, eat latkes, love music, drink a beer? If so, this event is for you. Tickets are on sale now on the website. December 3rd is the Community Hanukkah Shabbat and celebration, so come back for that. Keep in mind the next 2 Shabbats are online only, so you can log in for those. Next week will be a really great guest speaker, Congregant Michaela Mendelson for Equality Shabbat, and then the following week is a lay-led Shabbat. So keep your eyes out for emails and visit koltikva.org for registration and even more events. That's it. Shabbat Shalom.
We now turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. And our thoughts turn to those who have died recently and to those who died in years past. On our recently departed list, Donna Frankel, remembered by the Frankel and Schulman families. Betty Dunner, remembered by the Dunner family. She was just laid to rest this morning. Tina Jaffe, remembered by the Jaffe family. Sandra Goldstein, remembered by the Goldstein family. Sam Gershfeld, remembered by the Litvak family. Hattie Mae Siegel, remembered by the Ross family. And we also think about those who died during this season in years past. Hannah Amir, Jean Bua, Lee Chutko, Theodore Cohen, Lewis Cooper, Ida Davis, Lillian Diamond, Abraham Furman, Bernhard Fisher, Judy Giverts, Isidore Greenspan, Ann Hoffman, Harriet Kaplan, Paul Nussbaum, Abraham Reichbach, Ed Rubin, Barbara Schultz, Harvey Schenken, Sanford Spiro, Christopher David Trentham, and Sharon White. If you have an additional name for our Kaddish or Yortzeit list, share the name with us now. Thank you, Vicki. If you're in the first 7 days of mourning, Shiva, please rise. If you're in the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise. If you're in the first year of mourning, please rise. If you're observing a Yortzeit, please rise. These are the mourners in our midst. We rise to show them our love and our support. We are on page 598. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach chirutei v'amlech malchutei, b'chayachon v'mechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarak le'olam olamei amaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh v'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit alal shmei dekudsha. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, namiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace on high grant peace to all who mourn, to all Israel, and to all humankind. And together we say, Amen. You can put down your books. You can put your arms around one another if you know one another. If you do not, ask first. And you're welcome to say no to people. It is fine. Closing song. Here we go.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם.
We began the service with our B'nai Mitzvah families and our veterans and their spouses. May you all come back up again to hold a Kiddush cup. We can get the B'nai Mitzvah families to join us and the veterans if they'd like to come back up. We need at least a couple of veterans, someone to hold a Kiddush cup. Would anyone else like to come up who's a veteran or part of the family? Veteran or part of the family? All right. If you could all hold up those Kiddush cups, nice and high. Here we go.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן לחיים. Drink up. It's grape juice.
Families could hold up the challah, or maybe the veterans. If our veterans who are standing up here still, if you guys could hold the challah. I don't want people reaching across flames. Let's all point at that challah and say, yummy, yum, yum. Yum, yum. Oh, that is yummy. It's got poppy seeds on it. Here we go.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון.
Someone needs to take a bite of that challah right now. This concludes our service. We have oneg in the next room. Go, talk, enjoy, socialize. You are welcome. I need one badly.